us now. Andrew, just on the lease and Royal Lodge, which is tonight's development, which is now a very active situation again, how would the surrender of the lease actually work in practice?
Well, I mean, he has a repairing lease, as you said. I mean, he's paid up front. It's an ironclad lease. So the only way he's going to leave is unless there's infestation of mice or he goes voluntarily for the sake of his family. And he says he's an honourable man and wants to put the country and the monarchy first. In some ways, I think it's a bit of a side issue. I know the optics don't look very good. Here is a non-working royal in this huge house, but we've got to think it's within the security zone. It's difficult to know who might actually take this house anyway. I mean, you've raised a number of interesting points there. One is, is he better within the tent? I mean, of course, he might go off, or I think it's more likely Sarah Ferguson might go off and work with the sort of Andrew Morton figure to write a pretty sensational book. And that's always been the threat over the years. But, there are threats the royal family can make against the family, particularly the future of the two daughters. And I think if they were to write a book, I think that the future of the children would be quite difficult. So I think there's pressure there. I mean, should we show more compassion? Well, I mean, he's not, as you said, shown any contrition. I mean, he's still, denying everything when, I mean, the evidence is pretty evident about his involvement. I think also that just the course of my 4 years researching him, I mean, he is a very unpleasant person. He's pretty shameless. He's very thick-skinned. I don't think he's going through torments at the moment. I think he just feels.
You don't?
No, I think he just feels he's very hard done by. But I think there's more.
Andrew, can I just say? I mean, absent criminal allegations against him or the fact that he denies them, being an absolute plank and a plonker isn't a crime. I mean, should he take condign punishment for being the sort of man you don't want to go and have a pint with?
Well, I think there are grounds to investigate him, and I think there is a good argument for charges to be brought, and then we have to leave it to the law. I mean, partly the question of misconduct in public office, and this is particularly true of his time as a special trade envoy, where he was pretty much lining his own pocket when he was meant to be promoting British trade and paid for by the British taxpayer. And I think there is a bigger problem here, and this is why the royal family is so keen to address it and to deal with it ruthlessly, because, of course, the poison, this public opinion, is spreading more widely, and it's now moving towards the royal family and criticisms of the king and other members of the family. So I think they want to cut off the limb before it infects the rest of the body politic. But I do think that there are grounds, particularly, as I say, for example, telling his police protection officer to smear Virginia Giuffre. We've had her book this week, which I think really brings home just how awful her situation was. We've got to remember Andrew booked her, in effect, like a pizza from a collection of photographs. He then claimed this woman this was probably the defining moment of her life and led to her death, that he couldn't even remember who she was, though of course he could, and having denied it, it's now become clear he knew exactly who she was. And indeed a PR firm was brought in to try and undermine her. So I think it's very hard to have sympathy for him. He's had plenty of opportunities to apologise, to say he's made mistakes. He would like to, like Jonathan Aitken, to redeem himself, or indeed John Perfumer, and he hasn't done any of that. He's still there expecting people to bow to him, still expecting to be called His Royal Highness. And I think, the public opinion is way ahead of any government or palace official, and they really need to get ahead of the story rather than this playing catch-up.
Do you think the public would be satisfied if he left Royal Lodge, maybe moved to Dubai, where apparently he has some kind of residence, and was never heard of again? Or do you think it's too late now and the damage to the monarchy has been done?
No, I think the damage can be repaired if they do treat this seriously and cut him away. I mean, it doesn't look good if he's on the Windsor estate riding his horse and things. So I think he needs to go a long way away. He does have a palace in Abu Dhabi, and that would certainly be one option.
Who paid for the palace in Abu Dhabi?
A present. They have 600 palaces, and he's just got one.
What,
of them.
the Emirati?
Yeah. He's just a little perk of his friendship with them, but it shows how close he is to them. And you said that he's short of money. He's not short of money. He's inherited money. He's made a lot of money from.
But you say that, but royal wills are always sealed. You don't know how much money he's inherited.
Yes, from my research, I don't know how much money he's inherited, but money was passed by the Queen Mother long before she died. But he's also been making money from pitch at the palace. He's been making money from business deals he's been doing in Middle East and Libya, in Kazakhstan. So he hasn't been doing up Royal Lodge, and that may be the way he gets pushed out because he hasn't kept up the terms of the lease. But I don't think we're going to see him on the streets. I think the interesting question also is what happens to Sarah Ferguson, who's also been implicated in a lot of this, again has not told the truth about her links with Jeffrey Epstein. I think it's quite likely she will go to Switzerland. I mean, they've sold their Swiss chalet, but she has still quite strong links there. And the question is, will they go somewhere together or will they go and live apart now?
You raise lots of interesting questions. In terms of the lease, just back on that very quickly, I did see a document that suggested if he gives up the lease, he gets a massive refund on some of the £6 or £7 million he paid up front. Did you see that?
Yes, he gets about £568,000 if he has to surrender it before 2028. But these are all
I thought it was
things.
I thought it was millions, and I thought it was sort of 5 or 6 million. No,
it's calculated.
I misread the document then.
It diminishes each year, and I think the Royal Lodge thing is a little bit of a side issue. I think it's much more important. For example, we look on his time as a trade envoy. We've got to remember that all of this has been supported by people like the Foreign Office, Department of Trade, and others. I mean, this is how he's been able to operate. People didn't call him to account. And so this is a wider thing. It's not just one rogue royal. It's actually the establishment itself protecting him.
And exactly, and the way he skimmed off, a percentage from his contracts, from being a trade envoy and from pitch at palace, according to research done by people like you. Just finally and very quickly, if you please, Andrew, do you think that Prince Andrew is the fall guy taking the hit, possibly, for all the abusers within the alleged paedophile or predatory sex trafficking ring that, as we know, was orchestrated by Epstein between his New York mansion and Paedophile Island, as it is called?
Well, I think it's unfortunate. I mean, he's clearly taken the brunt so far, but I think once the Senate Oversight Committee is able to release the Epstein files, I mean, more names will emerge. Okay. We've had Virginia Giuffre's memoir, which doesn't name people, but makes the identity of many of them clear. We've got other victims coming forward. Juliet Bright's got a book next month. So I think we will get other names in the mix, and the pressure will come off him.